The way is in training. Miyamoto Musashi. Our Japanese master swordsman from the past speaks truth over and over again. I love his quotes. The way is in training. Our way, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes following price flows. Remember, you can listen to the news, you can read the financial press. The only thing that matters is what is price doing. And are you accurately tracking it using the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks? Again, another Japanese thing we throw in here. And of course, the volume indicator along with your trusty trend lines. Let's jump first into stocks. Big, down day. 1.63 for the S&P, 1.96 for the NASDAQ 100. So let's look at what that does for us. We can see this week a higher high, 191.62. Last week, 189.12. So we've gone up higher, smaller candle. The volume's already decent here compared to where it ended last week. We still have Thursday and Friday to go. We look at where we are, though, on the 2-day. You can see we've got a doji there, almost sort of a very small spinning top, decent volume, but of course, really backing off. Touching on the wick, the weekly trend line. Look at the half day, down in the morning, further down in the afternoon. Look at that wick going all the way down to the weekly trend line. So some significant weakening on Wednesday. What does that mean for the rest of the week? Don't know. It could recover, or it could really start spiking over, and we could see the candle turn red. Not likely, but again, we'll wait, watch, and see. But that is a decent drop for the day. What about the NASDAQ 100? Well, it's weaker than the S&P. Look, it hasn't reached the high of last week this week. The high last week on the NASDAQ 100 was 429.85, and we've got 428.34. Of course, we can see the volume's decent. We see where we are on this red down candle. Again, this is the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It'll finish drawing on Thursday, but you can see that the candle body itself even penetrated the weekly trend line on, again, our smallest chart. We're sitting on it on our 2-day chart, so we will continue to watch and pay attention where things are going in this market, but some weakness. Now, we've seen that before. We saw that week as we started the year off where it looked like the market is going to rotate over. It slid sideways, then popped up, slowing down this week. Don't know if it's ending, but we'll watch and pay attention. Now, could just be digesting those gains, getting ready to go up even higher. Don't know. What about, we will have an idea, though, before the end of the week. Now, what about 20-year bonds? Well, they're up 1%, just about 0.98% for the day. We have a green spinning top there, indecision. Look at that volume. It's already almost up to where it was last week. And again, it's just Wednesday. So decent volume this week we're seeing in stocks and bonds. We look at where we are on the 2-day. And of course, we have 1.5 2-day candles. So 3 days, we can see it here, 1, 2, 3 days of decent up movement. Again, are bonds going to turn around? Have they bottomed, and are they going to start moving up? We will keep our eye on things and see, again, as we move into the end of this week. I love seeing these kinds of candles. Nice, solid down moves, nice, solid up moves, moving down. Want to have more than that when things move down. We like lots of down candles moving in the right direction and then turning around with, again, high volume. Let me let you see this. See where again, it spiked down in the volume. Then we had a green spinning top with high volume to show the turnaround. Those are the beautiful, easy trades to make. And of course, that's what you're always looking for. And remember, you don't have to trade unless things set up perfect. So look for perfect trades and pull the trigger on those and see how your practice trades go. That's where we are on bonds. Let's look at gold. Gold down some for the day. Now, we do have 2-day up candles pushed through that weekly trend line there. We see how the half day pushed up candle-wise through it on Tuesday morning. pulled back Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning popped up, pulled back Wednesday afternoon. Overall, 0.07% for the day. See which way bonds go when we get to the end of the week. Are they going to revert back over to a down move? Don't know. We can see we've had this decent ceiling here for a while, and we'll see just how that treats us as we move forward. So now let's leave bonds, and I got some interesting news for you. Guess what? The Van Eck XBTF, the Van Eck Bitcoin chart is gone. They have closed that out, and they have opened HODL, H-O-D-L. That is the new Van Eck Spot Bitcoin Trust. It is a new chart. Now, new charts are tough because you can see we don't have any averages on the volume because it's so new. We have a little bit of average volume here on the half day, which doesn't do a lot for us because that's our smallest chart that we count the least upon. We do have a trend line. We can see that trend line's being breached by this doji here. So what we're going to do for the next several weeks until we start getting a chart that we can actually look at is we're going to go to the BTC USD, the Bitcoin US dollar 24-hour a day chart. Those you're familiar with, if you listen to our Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies, this is the chart we've been looking at once a week. Doesn't do a whole lot for us on this half-day chart. Why? Because it basically is drawing it constantly at 195 minutes. I mean, we can look at that and see what 195 minutes looks like. Two-day chart, that's okay. That's showing us, again, the up movement. We can see on the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart where we had down movement for 2 weeks, and then this week pulling back up through that weekly trend line. Now, HODL, see sort of the same thing. We can again back this off some so that, again, not so much different than what we're seeing there. Candle's a little bit different, but the movement is somewhat similar. We breached that trend line. You can see it as I'm pacing back and forth. What I'm really interested in seeing is the volume. How much volume do we have there? We do have this down move in the volume. We will pay attention as we get to the end of the week. If we're still going green, it'll be interesting to see if indeed, we can see where we had this high move here, and then we had things moving down, decent volume here. Is it already bottomed and going to move back up again? Again, we'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. We'll sort of keep an eye on both of these charts, and it's going to take us a little while till we start getting some average volume that we're going to be able to use. You can see how long it took for the half-day chart to finally start giving us some average volume, because it is averaging on it, I guess, on 20 periods. So we got to have 20 periods first. It's going to be 20 weeks. We're only 4 weeks in, so we probably got 16 more weeks till we get some average volume and can start relying more on these charts. But what we see on the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart is do see some up move here. We're going to see just how long that goes down for the day. On the 24-hour-a-day chart, 0.83%. On the spot Bitcoin, that is the Van Eck Bitcoin Trust, we see it is down 2.41. So we'll pay attention, see where that is leading us. So we got a lot going on this week. As the week moves further toward Friday, we'll see how these charts are shaping up and what moves we may be making. Don't forget, Patreon members will be putting together your Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies early, along with 3-wave trades. And of course, Thursday nights we produce for you. We go through the S&P 500 and we try to locate 20 weekly vertical crossovers. Some weeks we have less than that. Just really depends on the quality of those based upon volume and, of course, crossovers. If you're not a Patreon member, want to become one, you get all these things for helping underwrite the cost of the channel. We so appreciate our Patreon supporters. And don't forget, first thing you get as a new Patreon member at any of the 3 levels is Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way 3-part video series. You'll love it. If you're interested in learning options, this is the place to start. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.